Well, that's all I know in German except Dankeschön and Bitterschön and Scheisser and but maybe if I talk English very slow, maybe you might be able to understand. Okay, I'll start out here on the Mule Skinner Blues. Maybe I better just move this back so I don't hit that microphone there. Geez, I feel like I'm going to be electrocuted in a minute. You'll notice tonight that I'm a drinking orange juice.
Why?
I'll tell you. Listen, I don't know if you folks have heard about this if you realize this, but over in America, we got a president. And I don't remember his name exactly. I think it's Mr. President Noxon or something like that. Well, anyway, this President Noxon, ladies and gentlemen, he did something dirty with the water. So I've been drinking orange juice ever since. It's completely... That story of old Noxon over there is so ridiculous that I am worried, because I could imagine they could even have an orange juice trial. Well, let me see, one second. I'll give you a very old song here. It's a pretty good one. And the name of the song is Darlin Corey. Now, did you ever hear of Darlin Corey? You didn't. I best tell you about her a little. The first thing you should know is Darlin Corey was a woman. And she lived up there in the mountains of Kentucky. And what she did to make her money is she made moonshine. Moonshine is whiskey. Moonshine whiskey. Well, now, making moonshine is all right, but it's against the law. Yeah. And they got special moonshine police that goes running around looking for moonshine makers. So they hears about Darlin Corey, and they starts a-looking for her up there in the mountains. And they looks up at the top of the mountains and down at the bottom of the mountains and in back of the mountains, on the sides of the mountains, and in front of the mountains, and they finally found her in town. I think it was Chicago. And she was sitting out there behind the barn, drinking this moonshine, and so those moonshine police, they steps around the corner, and they pulls out their pistols, and they sticks them straight out in front of them. Whenever you're going to shoot anybody, you should always stick them out in front, not in back. He sticks his pistol straight out in front, and they starts shooting. Blam, blam, bam, bam, blam, bam, blam. And old Darlin Corey, she hears all of those bullets whizzing by her ears. Zip, zip, whiz, whiz, zip, zip, whiz. And she says to herself, she says, "This is dangerous." So she sits down her bottle of moonshine, and she picks up a great, big, old, double-barrel shotgun, and she starts a-shooting back. See, bloom, bloom, bloom. But the thing is, moonshine is something like schnapps. And after you drink a whole bunch of schnapps, you can't hit what you're shooting at. Sometimes you can't even see it. Well, now, that's the way it was with old Darlin Corey. So, right then and there, those moonshine police hadn't been drinking moonshine. And right then and there, poor old Darlin Corey, she goes to heaven. Yeah, moonshine makers always go to heaven. And my grandmother, my granny, she told me when I was a little boy, she told me about Darlin Corey, and she says to me, she says, the story of Darlin Corey is a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy, because Darlin Corey, she made good moonshine. first time I saw Darlin Corey, she was sitting in the sand. She was looking kind of worried bad about her man. Wake up, Darlin Corey, what makes you sleep so sound? Oh, the revenue officers come out just to break your old steel house down. Oh, the next time I saw Darlin Corey, she was leaning in the door. She was looking kind of pretty, and I liked the dress she wore. Wake up, Darlin Corey, what made you sleep so sound? The revenue officers come up just to break your old steel house down. Dig a hole in the meadow. Dig a hole in the ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, just to let Darlin Corey down. Wake up, Darlin Corey, what makes you sleep so sound? The revenue officers come out just to break your old steel house down. Oh, the last time I saw Darlin Corey, she was standing in the square. 2 6-gun strapped around the middle, and their low-down man was there. Wake up, Darlin Corey, what makes you sleep so sound? Oh, the revenue officers come out just to break your old steel house down. I was born in Dixie in a boomer shed, just a little shanty by the railroad track. The humming of the drivers with no lullaby, freight train whistle taught me how to cry. Freight train blues got 'em in the middle of the ramblin' shoes. Freight train blues got 'em in the middle of the ramblin' shoes. That's the part I made up myself there. I know I'm old enough to quit just running around. Tried 100 times to settle down. Every time I find a place I want, I stay. Freight train whistle send me on my way. Freight train blues got 'em in the middle of my ramblin' shoes. Freight train baloo-hoo-hoo's got him in the middle of my ramblin' shoe. Freight train baloo-hoo-hoo's got him in the middle of my ramblin' shoe. Freight train baloo-hoo-hoo's got him in the middle of my ramblin' shoe. My daddy was a fireman and the mama dear was the only daughter of an engineer. The sweetie is a brakeman and it ain't no joke. Shame the way she keeps a poor man broke. Freight train baloo-hoo-hoo's got him in the middle of my ramblin' shoe. Freight train baloo-hoo's got him in the middle of my ramblin' shoe. I'm dancing, there you go. Voila. I'll give you another sort of a type of song here. The name of this song is actually Roll On Buddy. But I've been calling it for some time, I Don't Like No Railroad Man, because they have a verse that is kind of important, actually historically wise. And it came from the 20s and the 30s back during the time of the Depression. And the verse goes, I don't like no railroad man. I don't like no railroad man, 'cause a railroad man, he'll kill you if he can, and he'll drink up your blood like wine. Beer is much better. But the thing is, back in the days of the Depression, when the guys couldn't find work around where they was living, they had to start going around the country trying to find something, and they didn't have any money to get there. So they rode on the freight trains, and they did what you call riding the rods. And underneath each train car, oh so far underneath, about like that, running all the length of the train from the front to the back, they had big iron bars, about the size of a banjo neck, and the guys could lay at each end of each train car. They could lay on those bars, and they could prop themselves with their hands and their feet, and then they could go cross country or wherever they was going and maybe find work. It wasn't very comfortable, but it got there. But the thing is, the railroad companies, they hired what you call railroad bulls, railroad police, and their bit was to walk on top of the trains with a big long rope in their hand, and at the end of that rope was a railroad spike tied to it, and they'd walk along the top of the train, and they'd swing that rope with the spike over the side, and on the rod underneath, if a man was laying there, and that spike would swing under, it would knock him off, and knock him under the train and kill him. And the reason they did this is because the guys wasn't paying for it. So the only thing I can say to you is, be sure you got your ticket in your pocket whenever you're getting on the train. So here we go, all right, I don't like no railroad man. Well, I don't like no railroad man, 'cause a railroad man will kill you if he can. Drink up your blood like wine. Drink up your blood like wine. Well, he'll drink up your blood like wine, 'cause a railroad man will kill you if he can. Drink up your blood like wine. got a $9 shawl. Well, old Kimpy's got a $9 shawl. She come over the hill with a $40 bill. Baby, where you been so long? Baby, where you been so long? Well, oh baby, where you been so long? Well, I've been in the pen with them rough and rowdy men. Baby, where you been so long? I forgot the last verse here. I got a home, Tennessee. Well, I got a home in Tennessee. Well, oh, I got a home down in sunny Tennessee. She's roll on, oh buddy, roll on. Roll on, oh buddy, roll on. Well, I roll on, oh buddy, roll on. Wouldn't roll so slow if you knew what I knew. Roll on, oh buddy, roll on. I don't like no railroad man. Well, I don't like no railroad man. 'Cause a railroad man, he will kill you if he can. Drink up your blood, that's wine. This is very dry work up here. I'm always worried about this. I'm always afraid I'm going to start turning orange or something one of these days. And nobody will recognize me. Well, let's see. I'll change chords here. Maybe go into a few other... I don't know if you know much about a 5-string banjo, but it's the old-timey way I'm playing. There's 34 different tunings that I know of. And I use about 6 of them. But you use a lot of open chording on this thing, open tuning. And you don't use all your chord hand fingers so much in the old-timey way as you bounce around and do pull-offs. You play up here as well as down here, but in a different place, see, a different way. And so you always try and tune open. And what happened is up there in the mountains, like the guys don't know how to read music, see? So they come to a song they'd like to play, well, they'd make up a tune and that would fit the song, and then, of course, that would lead into other songs, so you had a big bunch of banjo tunings. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. Getting closer and closer. This could take 4 hours on that. Okay, I'll start out here. I'll give you a Woody Guthrie song. And, no, I don't know that one. I haven't done much Woody I haven't done Woody for a long time, but I tell you what happened. It used to be much Woody, but then, through the years you got sort of away from it. But a while ago I was doing a show up in Scandinavia, up there in Denmark, with Stefan Grossman. And we did an hour show, television show, about Woody Guthrie's life. And I started doing a couple songs, and I got back into Woody again, and I'm really having much fun. But I still got a lot of going back to do, because it's been years since I really got with it. Woody took a lot of old songs that already were made up, changed the words to them. So this is one of those. It's called I Ain't Got No Home in This World Anymore. And it used to be a religious song. I mean, the religious folks is talking about home up there in heaven, I suppose. And Woody's talking about home down here. Now I ain't got no home, I'm just rambling round. Hard-working, rambling man, going town to town. The police make it hard, wherever I may roam. I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Now I was a-farming on the shares, and always I was poor. The crops I put into the banker's door. My wife laid down and died up on the cabin floor. And I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Oh, I ain't got no home, I'm just rambling around. A hard-working, rambling man, going town to town. The police make it hard, wherever I may roam. But I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Now as you ramble round, it's mighty plain to see this wide and wicked world's a funny place to be. The gambling man is rich and the working man is poor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Oh, I ain't got no home, I'm just rambling round. A hard-working, rambling man, going town to town. The police make it hard, wherever I may roam. I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Here's one called the Wildwood Flower. Oh, I'll twine with my mangles of raven black hair, with the roses so red and the lilies so fair, the myrtles so bright in her emerald hue, and the pale and the leather and I shine so blue. I will dance, I will sing, and my heart shall be gay. I will charm every heart in its crown, I will sway. I woke from my dreaming, all idols were play, and the potions of love now have all flown away. and to cherish me over all others above. I long to see him, no miseries can tell. Oh, he left me no warning, no words of farewell. He taught me to love him and called me his flower, that was blooming beside him through life's fateful hour. I long to see him regret the dark hour, that he's gone and neglected his pale wildwood flower. I'll give you a song here that I made up myself some years ago. It's an anti-war song, it's a protest song, but I made it up way before Vietnam. I made it up during the time of the Korean War. And I guess some of you folks is kind of young during the Korean War, but it was very similar to the Vietnamese thing. It was a political and economic situation too. And of course, supposedly fighting against the big threat of communists in America. And they also had the Un-American Activities Committee going at that time too. It was kind of dodgy. But anyway, the name of the song is Portland Town, where I'm from. And it's, well, you know it. Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit of the story for those of you that don't know it, because the story to me is as important as the song itself. And it's a true thing, and it's when I was living on the beach in Southern California. And when I say living on the beach, I mean really, my tent was a couple blankets held together with clothespins, and I was sleeping on the sand and eating sand, dreaming sand. I never saw so much sand. But while I was there, an older couple moved down to the beach beside us. And when I say older, I mean like, let's say 60 years old. They were about around in 60s, early 60s if that. But they were too old to have any more children. And they had had one child, a boy, and he had been sent to Korea, and he had been killed there. Well, in America at that time, there was the Un-American Activities Committee, and there was a lot of folks that was against the Korean War, but they was afraid to say so. And there was others, of course, a lot of others, that were, like with Vietnam, were all for it. And then there was a few of us also, or more than a few, a big few, that did open their mouths, but we didn't seem to get much good done except a kick in the ass and a hit in the mouth about it was what we got out of it. They still had their lousy war. But anyway, so this older couple, they felt like I did about it, and as far as they was concerned, their son had been murdered, which was just about right. In fact, that was almost the very words. And you should have seen those folks, because they was really, really broken-hearted, and they was too old to have any more children. Well, I had 3 children that I lost myself here from an earlier time. And so when they told me their story, I guess I projected really into them, and I got sort of the whole message right there. And it was terrible. And all these years I remembered those folks. And some months later in Hollywood, California, I was sitting down with a bottle of wine, and I got to drink the whole thing. My banjo doesn't drink. And this song just came out. It's not pretty at all, because I didn't mean it to be. It's not a pretty subject. But here it is, Portland Town. I was born in Portland town. I was born in Portland town. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was married in Portland town. I was married in Portland town. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Children I had 1, 2, 3. Children I had 1, 2, 3. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Frank, Jimmy, and Johnny made 3. Frank, Jimmy, and Johnny made 3. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Sent my children off to war. Sent my children off to war. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Killed my children 1, 2, 3. Killed my children 1, 2, 3. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Murdered my children 1, 2, 3. Murdered my children 1, 2, 3. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I won't have no kids no more. I won't have no kids no more. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. Terrible situation. Well, I don't know how I'm doing on time. Maybe we'll take a little break and everybody can fill their beer glasses and I'll drink my orange juice. You know, I used to really drink good whiskey, gin, vodka. Oh, I didn't drink beer because that was kind of like water. I used that to wash in. But you ought to try good old moonshine. Or snuff. I was a whiskey hard alcohol man, and the true beer didn't move me. But I got a letter from this whiskey company one day, by God, and I remember it now. It was something like, "Dear Mr. Adams, could you please stop drinking for a while because we're running out of whiskey." All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a very short little song here. Then we'll take a break. And it's a song I made up. It's a kid's song. But the thing is, I forgot it. So I only remember one verse and the melody. So I'll give you that because that's a pretty good one to have before you fill up your beer glasses. Okay, now get all ready. Prepare yourselves. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now 2 little boys and a big fat frog sitting in the river upon a log. The log turned over and they all fell in. Blah, 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 blah. Down to the bottom and up again. Now since I only remember the one verse, I'll sing it twice. 2 little boys and a big fat frog sitting in the river upon a log. The log turned over and they all fell in. Down to the bottom and up again. Blah, 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 blah. There you are. Voila. Set this here. All ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'll start out this one here with an old friend that's called Rich and Ramblin Boy. I'm not a boy, and I'm not rich, but I've been doing a lot of rambling.
I tell you what I'll do. I wasn't going to do this song tonight,
but for the hell of it, I'll do it anyway. And it's the oldest song that I know. This song is almost as old as I feel sometimes in the morning. It's 700 years old. And it originally come from Sweden. And the name of the song is Pretty Polly. And it's a story about a young boy, and he meets a young girl, and they goes a-walking down the road. And they walks and they talks, and they walk and talk and talk and walk and walk and talk and walk. And the first thing you know then, they figured out that they liked each other okay. So they goes walking some more. And they walks and they talks and walks and talks and walks and talks and talks and walks. And the first thing you know then, ladies and gentlemen, they figured out that they was what you call in love. Well now, most of you here I suppose knows sometimes what can happen when a young folks go walking down the road and they're in love, don't you? Yeah, well you're right, that's right. They ended up there behind some bushes and trees on the hillside, and they was doing what my grandmother used to call, they was up there a-doing it. Well, that's all right, as long as it's not raining and snowing outside, as far as I can see. But the thing is, up in Sweden 700 years ago, you was not supposed to do that. And not only that, listen to this, they didn't have the pill either. So the young girl, she become what you call pregnified. And the young boy, he become what you call worried. And so did the young girl become worried, and so they went walking again. This time they was walking faster, and they didn't sound the same either. But now we come to the tragic part, the terrible, terrible part. The young boy, he was too upset, and he completely lost his head, and he ups and he kills the girl. Yeah, it's a dirty trick. He shouldn't have done it. But it's too late to say that now. It's all said and done. He already did it. But I can tell you this, that the young boy, he felt very bad about this, and the young girl, she did too. It's kind of a strange one. This is really an old-timer. Whose beauty never been found. Pretty Polly, come take a walk with me. Pretty Polly, come take a walk with me. Before we get married, some pleasure to see. Of your ways, your mind is to ramblin' and lead me astray. Then he led her on farther, and what did they spy? Now he led her on farther, and what did they spy? But a new-made grave with a spade lying by. Stabbed her in her heart till her life's blood did flow. he stabbed her in her heart till her lifeblood did flow, and then down by the river with her body did go. Then they threw the dirt in over her and turned away to go. Now he threw the dirt in over her and turned away to go, down by the river where the deep waters flow. There you go. That song started a whole series of songs. To this day are called Pretty Polly songs. They've come into through all these hundreds of years, and they still tell the very same story. You've heard Dylan do one, The Banks of the Ohio. That's a Pretty Polly song, the very same story that I just gave you. And I'll give you another one. It's called Poor Ellen Smith. It's one of the more modern versions of the same song. Well, I'm going to do you another Woody Guthrie here. Well, wait just a minute, folks. By God, did I ever tell you about the death of President Garfield? All right, would you like to hear it? Huh? You said no, I didn't. Now, would you say yes, please? Anyway, I'm going to tell you about old Garfield. Now, James A. Garfield, and he lived back in 1891. And I figure out it must have been a spring day, and the sun was a-shining, and the birds was singing, because old Garfield got up that morning and decided that he was going to run for president of the United States of America. Well, so he starts out a-running for president, and there's another fella. His name was Charlie Guitar. Now, old Charlie, he hears about old Garfield running for president. So Charlie thinks to himself, he thinks, by God, he thinks, I bet you if I got in and I helped old Garfield become president, maybe he'd give me a job, like the head of the post office department or the head of the FBI force, something like that. So, okay, Charlie gets in and starts a helping, and old Garfield, he becomes president of the United States, but he didn't give Charlie a job, see? So Charlie gets pissed off about this, and he goes a-marching on home there, and he reaches up in the top drawer of a buffet, and he pulls out a great big .44 pistol, and he sticks it under his coat. And he goes a-marching, clomp, 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 over to the White House, where Garfield was doing whatever presidents do in White Houses. I don't know that yet, but he was in there doing something, whatever it was. And so anyway, old Garfield, he looks around, and he doesn't see nobody looking. So he pulls out this .44, and he gets all ready, and he sticks it out in front of him, and he cocks it, and he pulls the trigger, blam, and he shoots poor old Garfield. Now this part you're not going to believe. Do you know where he shot Garfield at? I'm going to tell you. You'll never believe it, but Scout's honor is true. Yeah, really. Ladies and gentlemen, he shot Garfield right smack dab in the ass. This is your ass here. Shot him right in the ass. Well now, you're probably wondering why in the world he shot him there. There's lots of places to shoot a man. You don't have to shoot him in his ass at all. Well, I thought about this, and I thought about it, and I wondered about it, and I sat down, and I thought about it some more, and I think I got the answer. One of two things as I see it. Now maybe, the first time, for the first thing, maybe old Charlie, when he stuck that gun out there and things and was pulling the trigger and all that, he might have been a little nervous and shaky, so he could have just shot low. Now that's possible. But I got to thinking again. And I got to thinking, maybe the reason Charlie shot Garfield in the ass is because that's where Charlie thought Garfield's brains was.